An island that stands the third largest in Mediterranean and the largest in Eastern Mediterranean, which grew into the true Turkish land following the migration from Anatolia in the wake of the Ottoman conquest. Cyprus. We will go back to the period before and during the Happy Peace operation, which was held in Cyprus in 1974 by the Turkish armed forces, and recollect the events which were at times bloody and at other times tragic, and which made the operation necessary. As a natural extension of Anatolia and having hosted many civilizations throughout its history, from the Egyptians to the Romans, from the Mamluks to the Venetians, Cyprus was conquered by the Ottoman Empire in 1571, eventually after the battles that lasted for a year during the reign of Sultan Selim II. The Ottoman state brought to Cyprus free and organized system in social, cultural, economic, legal and all aspects, and the people on the island have been provided with unimaginable liberties for 258 years. Some leaders of the Greek state, separating from the Ottoman state in 1829, turned their longing for becoming Romans into a national ideology. In accordance with this ideology called megali idea, great ideal, invasion of the territory from Crete, Rhodes, Cyprus, Anatolia to Alexandria as reached by Alexander the Great, and refoundation of the Byzantine Empire, presumed as a Hellenic empire, was aimed. And the way to achieve this is enosis. Enosis means the unification of the island of Cyprus and the western half of Anatolia to Greece. In this context, the Greeks proceeded to consider the island of Cyprus never being possessed as a whole, even for a day, as their own land. It is this date, the idea of enosis, which cannot be realized even only in dreams, would spark the events to take place thereafter. At the end of the Ottoman-Russian War in 1878, the Ottoman Empire suffered a heavy defeat. Desiring Cyprus as the key to the Middle East, Britain got close to the Ottomans and pledged help against Russian attacks. Loaning the island from the Ottoman state at the Berlin Congress of 1878 in return for support against Russia, Britain took advantage of the fact that the Ottoman Empire ranked with the Central Powers in World War I and invaded the whole island on November 5, 1914. Cession of the island to Britain was acknowledged by the Treaty of Lausanne signed in 1923. Having illusions of enosis since 1821, the Greek Cypriots did not give up this dream under the British administration and even started advocating it openly with support from Greece. When the Greek Cypriots, trying every way to seize Cyprus, realized that they cannot accomplish anything with diplomatic attempts, the terrorist organization EOKA, which was established to realize the dream of enosis, launched bloody actions on April 1, 1955, and declared anyone against enosis as enemies. By the end of 1958, they killed 400 Greek, 109 Turkish and 100 British on the grounds that they were against enosis. And people living in 33 Turkish villages had to migrate due to Greek Cypriot oppression. In the face of this act of violence, the Turkish Cypriots attempted to protect their existence against the British administration and the Greek Cypriots, and to reach out to Turkey and the world under the leadership of Dr. Fazıl Küçük, while unifying the actual resistance movement launched with resistance organizations such as the Black Gang, the Volcano and September 9th under Turkish Resistance Organization. The state of chaos in Cyprus continued until the the agreements in Zurich and London, and as a result of these agreements, a Republic of Cyprus was established with Turkish and Greek Cypriots under guarantees of Turkey, Greece and Britain. The rights granted to Turkish Cypriot community by the Constitution of 1960 were eliminated by the unilateral fait accompli of the Greek Cypriots in 1963, and from that date, armed attacks were launched against the Turkish community living on the island. Küçük Kaymaklı and Kumsal attacks on December 23-24, 1963 caused very sad events, and many Turkish citizens lost their lives in these attacks. On August 5, 1964, Greek Cypriot and Greek units attacked the Turkish Cypriots in Erenköy region. Greek aircraft bombed Erenköy region and many Turks were martyred as a result of these attacks. Therefore, Turkey launched a limited air operation and prevented a massacre against the Turkish people. Greek units were defeated. Brave Turkish pilot Cengiz Topel, whose plane was shut down on August 8, 1964, was captured by the Greeks without any injuries, but then was martyred as a result of tortures by the Greeks. The Turkish Cypriots sustained resistance against the Greek attacks during the periods of Makarios and Samson, confident that one day Turkey would by all means come to their aid. The Republic of Turkey did not remain indifferent to calls of kin living in the portion of homeland of the last 4 centuries and responded to the Greek Cypriots saying that I have been waiting but you did not show up with the remark I might show up all of a sudden, and completed preparations.
Bu kadar yürekten çağırma beni. Bir gece ansızın gelebilirim.
We are going to the island not to bring war, but to bring peace. And peace not only for the Turkish Cypriots, but also for the Greek Cypriots. On July 20, 1974, Turkey used the right of intervention as a guarantor state, and the Turkish armed forces launched the Cyprus peace operation on land, sea and air. On July 22, 1974, with the ceasefire upon the call of the United Nations on July 22, 1974, clashes were halted and meetings were launched among the parties on July 25 in Geneva. The Greek and the Greek Cypriot sides' refusal of our demands and the potential of massacres against the Turkish people made it necessary to launch the second operation, and with the code Aisha can now go on vacation, setting a precedent for the whole world in the second Cyprus peace operation, the Turkish soldier forged his name on the Beşparmak Mountains and the pages of history in the golden letters, bringing peace and security to the island and symbolizing Turkish Cypriots' freedom and independence. During the operation, 498 members of the Turkish armed forces, along with 786 Turkish Cypriot fighters, fell martyrs for our Cypriot kin. Our martyrs who fought shoulder to shoulder in those days lie today side by side in cemeteries in Boğazköy, Karaoğlanoğlu, Lefkoşa, Girne, Gazi Mausa in peace, which have turned into sacred places and are flooded by visitors. The Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus was established on November 15, 1983, following the establishment of peace on the island.
bağımsız bir devlet olarak kurulduğunu dünya ve tarih önünde ilan ediyorum.
However, Greece and Greek Cypriots have never acknowledged the Turkish presence on the island and have stated at every opportunity that they will not. Nevertheless, Turkish Cypriots sustain utmost efforts to maintain peace within the security environment created by the Cyprus-Turkish Peace Force and to glorify their state.